Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. We're zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is, how do I get through this feeling of loneliness and depression? I've just broken up with someone who was really the love of my life, and I've discovered that they are really cheating behind my back. They might be narcissistic, and I'm just so depressed. How do I get through this? So, really, I think that's a great question that a lot of people can relate to. Depression really is going to follow the high. When you're on a roller coaster type of relationship, which unequivocally a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath is going to be sort of charted like. If you were to look at a graph, like any relationship, it's going to have its ups and downs. However, when you're dealing with someone who is narcissistic or psychopathic, what you thought were the ups were oftentimes a down. And really what you thought is as a down is really going to be an up. There are a tremendous amount of up and downs, thrills and euphoria, and the dysphoria, and then disappointment. The sort of feeling of going without, running on your third cylinder, running on vapors, running on ether, living on a prayer, like that, song used to say with Bon Jovi. I think that was Bon Jovi, living on a prayer, but it's kind of like you're living on the ether. You're living on a faith. You're living on sort of no fuel whatsoever. And gosh, some musical concepts coming up, but the point is that oftentimes the fuel that's running the relationship is not sustainable. It is not for the long haul. It can't take you to the long haul. Those longer, passes of life where unequivocally there's going to be a loss of a job, a health issue, financial issue, health issue with family members, holidays, need for vacation, need for a getaway, need, to have retreat time, need to do something different. Instead of always going out for dinner, we might need to learn to cook. Always going to the movies, we might need to go to church. We might need these other more well-rounded aspects of life to enter the picture. And oftentimes there can be big hunks or slices missing of the pie that aren't able to be filled by this relationship or this person. They cannot fill the shoes. They can't fill the boots. They can't fill the order. It's just not always a feasible thing. And even though we want it to be different, the truth isn't always so. Wanting to make it different or wanting to, doesn't make it so. It's just not what is written in the stars. Your life is still written in the stars. Your life still has thrilling, exciting, wonderful times to be savored and enjoyed, and more pleasure is waiting for you. It's just not going to be of the same up and down nature. That won't be hallmarked with these, feelings of paranoia, insecurity, wonder, and doubt. Too much the percentage of the relationship can be caught up in this sort of wondering, this paranoia, sneaky suspicion. Something is a little off, and yet I'm just going to sort of tune it out. Too much tuning out is going to make you out of tune. It's just going to cause you to sort of be out of alignment with your body, mind, and spirit, and your energy. The mind, the body knows the truth. The body is a truth teller. The body is, when we talk about, muscle testing, your body does know best. And so if your body has been plugged up with a lot of lies, a lot of food that is based on, this false hope, you're still sort of fanning the cokes of delusion or illusion. You're still fanning the flames of the desire for that which won't really make you happy. It won't bring you the fulfillment. It's very easy to get seduced by the narcissist or the psychopathic relationship because of the thrill, because of the uncertainty, because of the momentum of trying to plan and then figure out and then become like an investigator to figure out what is going on here. And your life isn't meant to stay in only these little boxes. It is going to enlarge. But you do need to have the boundaries to protect you. Those down, and as I call them, valley moments. Some people call them, like Thomas More, the dark valley of the soul, or the dark night of the soul is what he calls it. Not so fun, not so great. Oftentimes very painful, excruciatingly so. The loneliness, can be combated and made more pleasurable. What are some tools to help you through the depression, which means deep depression, deep resting? You need to have this rest, specifically after a lot of mental and physical activity to trying to get things sorted out. It takes a lot of energy. A lot of energy can be leaked or leached off from these people. And you might feel very depleted, like an empty tank, and it's hard to be fulfilled and be filled up. We talk about the recovery date and how you fill up the tank. You fill up the reservoir. You fill up the pond so it's good for fishing again. You fill up the quarry with some earth and some sod and make it a planting and living place again. You need to go through these questions and write it down, the lessons learned, and hopefully to shorten that cycle. So it is a required and mandatory place to be. I'm Scott Peck, Legitimate Suffering, but it is for your own benefit. If that can help you to ease up, is that those moments are of retreat and gaining repose are for your own benefit. They are for you. What are some things you can do? Well, age-old, remedy. You're not the only person who has been through this. You are in masses of company. Especially look at more today, this is gaining more importance and more acknowledgement. And we talk about, pathology of lies and pathology of relationships and pathology in workplaces and all this sort of stuff that comes to light. Once people are willing to face the fact, face the fear, face the reality, no matter how difficult, uncomfortable, etc., sometimes it needs to be done. Thank God you have found this place, first of all. What I find very, very sad is to encounter people who have been manipulated by a psychopath, who stay in the relationship, who fall for, just the most textbook of lies, who are too afraid to leave. They're too afraid to believe the truth. It becomes too much work. We live in the same house. Our kids are in the same class. Our kids are at the same school. Our mail comes to the same address. Our dinners are, always together. All these different things, they deep inside, they know it, but they are too, or choose to stay too naive. And oftentimes it's that dispelling and then sort of coming through the naivete, which oftentimes can be a very difficult skin to shed. I wish I was naive again. I wish I didn't know this. I wish I could just numb out. I wish things could just go back. I wish. Oftentimes wishful thinking is just going to perpetuate the cycle, and it's going to keep the cycle, and it's going to drill it down deeper and deeper, and it's going to make matters worse. It's going to make matters worse. People get more into debt by trying to play the illusion or to get that illusion. The illusion is not where it is at. Living the dream, okay, making it your reality, okay, that is good. That can happen, but it's not going to do you any good to try to go after the same illusion. Once burned, you're not going to put your hand there. it hurts. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. It's shameful. You must forgive yourself. You must, to err is to be human. Everybody is going to go through their life lessons. Period. End of story. And you the same. My teachers never told me this. My priest never told me this. My parents never told me this. My best friend never told me that this would happen. Okay, well, listen to some pop music. It happens all the time, but let's not stay in the realm of the teenager, the teeny bopper, the 20-something who is going to go through this time and time again until they really learn where they fit and who is a substantial partner or not, who is marriage material or not, you do have a crossroads, and a place to maybe stay there and ponder your next choice in your next direction. And you'll come upon and you'll happen upon new crossroads where you take new direction, but keep them on positive, orderly direction, what I call pod thinking, feeling, behaving, and choosing. So you're going on the right path and you're not going back for more trouble. Here comes trouble, go the other way. Know better this time. Catch it before it happens. Give yourself some pat on the back and give yourself some energy and kudos for acknowledging it to be so. But to lighten the load, get a little bit of solace in that you're strong enough. If you're strong enough not to be with a narcissist, you are strong enough. If you're strong enough not to be with the psychopath, you are strong enough. What is your gift that was not validated by this individual? Write it down. What are your positive qualities that were not validated by this individual? Write it down. What were the positive things that you did that where you were taken advantage of? Write it down. You're going to see your strengths. Write it down. It's important that you have a mirror looking back at you with your strengths so that you know who you are, you know the value of yourself before moving forward. Because oftentimes you didn't know the value of yourself and your strengths that kept you in that relationship or being attracted to it in the first place. Well, I lost it all. I lost this person. I lost my house. Okay, that was then. This is now. It's time to rebuild and reinvent. The depression, it might be there. If you haven't been to a medical doctor for some time, go and get a checkup. You can start there. Talk to some people. Get a therapist. Get a counselor. Get to a talk group. Do something about it. Don't just allow it to sulk and be miserable and not shower and not eat and not clean and not pay the bills and not work and not have any friends and not have any entertainment and not have any joy. That's not, you don't have to punish yourself. The punitive measures that people take are oftentimes way too extreme and unnecessary. Get, that off of your load. Begin to do little things that beacon hope to you. Literally lighting a candle, going for some healthy grocery shopping, playing some soft music, watching something that is upbeat like comedy or, another romantic comedy or something. But that, if it makes you feel unhappy, then watch something like a documentary. Learn about new parts of the country or the world. Learn about new religions. Learn about different spiritual practices that you can then embrace the sacred. Go out and experience these things. Go to a powwow. Go to a cultural center. Go to, a local hospital and volunteer. Go to the fire department and volunteer. Go to, the police department and volunteer. Where can you volunteer, especially around the holidays coming up? Volunteer. It doesn't have to be every day. It can be a once in a week or once a month or a little bit, a one-time thing, just to put some new wings on it. Do some other things to break up this monotony and boredom, and so that you don't feel just like a stoop on a slug, on a stoop. Do a little bit of things to get yourself going there. Find and go it alone. I've never gone to a movie or, any of these things sought this out before, well, make time for a first. What first can you do today? It's your buddy, peace and harmony with you here today, and hope that these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe, and please donate for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Peace out. Have a beautiful day.